Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Brakatah and Yahweh Shemal Latham Bashem Yahushua. This is Priest and Officer Tapazar, ISUPK, Star out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is the ISUPK Killeen Sabbath service. And with that, I'm Ijin, which means to stand. La Yashala. Sar Hakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. We'll do the prayers. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Salaki. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Waka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalat Lanawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya'ai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Haiwashai Nawa, Mayan, Ra'ah, Kaya, Laka, Hamalatwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Para, La'ai Walamium, Aman. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. The prayer of the power, the Hakak, in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Koshah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, Lara Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazarium, Hakak, Lahaiquium, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Ra Kawa, Hata Salakia, Ha Tamala, Lagarshin, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water Amun. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. The prayer of the blessing in the Hebrew, Barakatah Yahweh, Why Yahweh Shai, Why Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranyam, Ha Quatazayanyam, Ha Ka Yayalam, Wa Akwapian, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water Amun. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Ashai Ayanya, Al Haharia, Ma'ayan, Yaba Azaria, Azaria, Ma'am, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa Arataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana La'a Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yum Yunka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wa Yarak, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra'ah, Yashamar, Apnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Waba'aka, Ma'ata, Wa'ad Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. All Salakia, all Ahayim, all Damayalaka, all Thakarash, wa all Thashakwat, all Kayahana, Awa Yabyaka, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Ya'ira Yamawa, Sawada, Wayata, Ya'ai Tazawa, Al Tazapawa, Yaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakidum, Magawa, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Na Wa'atazawa, Laba, Yakaiwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakarthwa, Al Salakia, Ahawya, Adawam, Wa Yashama, Al Yum, Mawa'aba, no, Ma'wa'aba, Wa Hagarium, Gabal, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalak, Palashath, An Yeshaya, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawa'ah, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakal, Kawashwan, Na Sham Salakia, Na Shamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nada Ya Mawa, Ka'arab, Wa Kaza'aba, Wa Kazabak, Wa Ka Tazamanai, Ka Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Naya Rasha, Lanawa, Af, Na Nawaf, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalya, Kakwash, Lapanya, Ra Waka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira Ya'ira, Wa Kalahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Kan Tharadapma, Basa Irika, Wabasa Wapathka, Thabalaham, Mala'a, Tharadapma, Basa Irika, Wabasa Wapathka, Salakia, Thabalaham, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Aya'id, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dawa'a, Kaya Atha Shamka, Yahawa Labaka, Al Yawan, Al Kaharatazar. In the English, keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm, and fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded, in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Sorry. We return. And Yeshaya, which means to sit. And so Shalom Israel. The last Sabbath service we was dealing with Genesis 25. At this point, Abraham is he's transitioned. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it's Isaac now. And before Abraham died, he had his servant go on a mission to ensure that Isaac would get a wife from his own family line stock, and not of the land that he was dwelling in, which was Canaan, around the heathens. You understand? The Lord is against interracial relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's a sin. You know what I mean? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not to marry or give their daughters to other races, other nations, and give their sons to marry, you know what I'm saying, other races and nations. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all across from, South America, you know what I'm saying, Haitians, so-called American Negroes, West Indians, all across the board from Colombia to Uruguay to Venezuela, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Belizeans, Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, Argentinians. We all can, Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying, Dominicans, Cubans, we can all marry each other. You understand? But we are not to choose wives and choose spouses from the other nations. That would entail the so-called Africans, the Hamites, the Caucasians, you understand, the Edomites, the Asians, you know what I'm saying, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, or even the Japhites, you know what I'm saying, which is what you want to call like the islands, the Polynesian islands, and Guamanians, Hawaiians. We're not to marry them. It's forbidden by our culture, by our law. You understand? And Abraham wanted to ensure that that according to our culture, that Isaac would have a rib from his own family line. Okay, and the Lord caused that to take place and happen. And at 40 years old, Abraham was about to pass away. Sarah was already dead, and Isaac married Rebecca. You understand? And at the time when we left off last week, Rebecca was barren. Like, a lot of sisters in our sisters in our records went through that experience of wanting to have children, but going through a period of time where they couldn't have children. You see that story with a few sisters in our records. So in this particular case, Isaac entreated the Most High, meaning that he prayed to the Most High on behalf of his rib that she would have children. And it said that the Lord heard him and basically said approved and granted his request. And from there, this is where we left off at. Okay, so we're gonna pick up from right there. You know what I'm saying? This is Genesis 25. If you got your Bible Hub app, you can follow along. Just go down to the bottom. When you open the app up, just go down to where it says interlinear. And this is Genesis 25, verse 22. You can follow along. Like we say all the time, this is to follow the Assyrian script. But in terms of like the pronunciations, you can't go by what's in this app. It's not accurate. You need to come to any Lashawan Kodash class, which just means the Holy Tongue. The ISUPK, the Commander General Yohana, has these classes every Friday all across the country. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you're from St. Louis, if you're from Chicago, if you're from Florida, if you in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Wherever your zone is, wherever you're located at, there's an ISUPK school. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not a church, we're not a camp. We are a school because we emphasize education and practical knowledge. You understand? To teach our people
how to serve the Most High. You understand? Not just to tell them, what they want to hear or what they feel like, you know what I'm saying, that they want in life. We come to teach them, you know what I'm saying, what the Most High wants his people to know and to live by and to die by. All right. So we're going to start in Genesis 25:22 in the Hebrew. All right. Wayatha Ra Wayatha Tazawa Habanyam Ba Ba Bakoraba Wathamar Aim Khan Lama'a Za Anakaya Wathalak Wathalak Lada Rasha no Ladarash Salakia Ladarash Atha Yahweh Salakia Wayamar Yahweh La Sana Salakia Shanya Gawayam Gawayam Ba wait Ba Banak Ba Bathanak Washanaya Washanya La'a Mayam Ma'ai Ma'ayak Ma'ayak Ma'ai no Ma'ayak Ma'ai Ya'ak no Ma'ai Yak Yapa Rada Yapa Radawa Wala Wala Mala'am Ya 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 Amas Wa Arab Ya I Ya I Bud Ya Abad Taza I Taza Taza I Taza I Taza Ayar Taza I Yar. Verse 24. Wayamala Awa Yamai Yaha La Ladath Waha Naha no Waha Na the Wa Mum Ba Bata Naha. Verse 25. Waya Taza'a Ha Ra'ashawa Nun Ada Mawa Naya Kalawa Ka'a Darath Sha'ar, Waya, Korah, Salakia, Waya, Korah, Wa, Shemawa, Aisha, Aishawa. Verse 26. Wa'a, Haraya, Khan, Ya Taza'a, Aha, Yawa, Waya, Dawa, Aha, Ahaza, Ba'ai, Qub, Aishawa, Ra, Quara, Waya, Quara'a, Shem, Shamawa, Yaiquab, Yata, Salakia, Yataza, Yataza, Wa, Yatazak, Ban, Shayam, Shana, Bala, Balada, Baladath, Atham, Genesis 25:27. Waya, Waya, Gadath, Waya, Gadath, Lawa, Hana, right, Hana, I, Rayam, Yahaya, Aishawa, Ayam, Ayash, Salakia, Yadiah, Tazayad, Yadiah, Tazayad, Ayash, Shadaha, Wa, Yaiquab, Ayash, Thum, Yeshab, Ah, Ah, Halayam, Genesis 25:28 in the Hebrew. Waya, Wayahab, Yatazak, Athar, Aishawa, Kaya, Tazaad, Ba, Payawa, Wara, Bakwa, Aha, Ah, Habath, Atha, Yaiqua. Genesis 25:29 in the Hebrew. Yazad, Yaiquab, Nazayad, Wayaba'a, Aishawa, Man, Hasha, Daha, Wa'a, Ayat. Genesis 25, verse 30. Wayamar, Aishawa, All, Yaquab, Hala, Ayata, Naya, Na'a, Man, Ha, Adam, Ha, Adam, Hazaha, Kaya, Aya, Aya, Ayap, Ayap, Anar, Kaya, All, Khan, Korah, Shama, Shamawa, Shamawa, Adam, no, Adawam, no, Adawam. Okay, verse 30. We can go from Genesis 22. It's like Genesis 25, 22 to 30. All right. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So we're gonna go in the scriptures and see what this means, okay? Because I watched a movie, I think it was on Amazon Prime, and it was the story of Jacob and Esau. And in the movie, it's of course, they had that's Hollywood, you're gonna have Edomites all in the movies. But in the movie, Rebecca is pregnant and she's like, for whatever reason, she's stumbling through the desert by herself, pregnant. And she's in the movie, she's of course in the script, in our record, she's having a difficult pregnancy. But in this film, she's stumbling through the desert over, thorn bushes and stuff. And she's talking to God like how Christian women in church talk to God, like as if they're speaking and he's just hearing them, having a one-on-one conversation. Okay. So this lets you know that the other nations don't understand our records because they don't, it was not for them. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures were never, our records were never written to be debated, to be questioned, or to be interpreted by another nation. But that's what happened because our culture was taken from us, and it was given, not given, it was taken from us and stolen by another people. And then once all the other nations had access to it, they gave their interpretations of what they think our records are about. But they basically opened and read mail that wasn't, sent to them. Okay, but we're gonna go to the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9, and we're gonna see what it means when it says that she went to inquire of the Lord. All right, according to our records. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking to the Lord one on one. You understand, when you're trying to get an answer from Him. The only way for you to get an answer from the Lord there's only one specific way to do that. Okay. Also, I need to get when I'm getting that. I'm gonna get another scripture just to back up. Actually, I think it's already in 1 second. Okay. Go to Amos 3 and 7 after we read this in 1 Samuel 9 and 9. Okay. The subject matter is uh, Genesis 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. She's having a rough pregnancy. my rib had twins, and it was a rough pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And when she went to get her sonogram, my rib, when they looked at it, it was like one of my sons, Quadash, was like leaning up on Yashar, like Yashar was tucked away, kind of like up under his like mother's rib, like where the heart was kind of located at. He was tucked over there. It was like Quadash was just whatever, he was bigger and he was just taking up a lot of space, but he was like pressing on Yashar. So when you got that enclosed space and it's two babies, it's like, you know, it's like you're trying to fight for space and fight for room. You know what I mean? And so when any sisters who had twins out there, you know what I mean, you understand the difficulty it is in bearing twins. You understand? But like I said, the subject matter is she went to inquire of the Lord. We're gonna show in the scriptures what this actually means. Okay, so 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9. All right, and it says, before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God. This is what we just seen right here when Rebecca's saying she's going to inquire of the Lord or to inquire of God. This is in our records explaining what this actually means. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire or seek guidance of the Most High of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. The seer. Now, this word seer is a word that was used before, a word that we commonly use now. Okay, and we're going to see what it says right here. Come, let us go to the seer, for he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So amongst our people in our records, before what you have now, what we call prophets, you would go and inquire of the Lord. You would go see a seer. So when Rebecca is saying she went to inquire of the Lord about the difficulty of her pregnancy, she went to go see a man of God, a prophet of God. And whenever you have an issue that you're dealing with, something that's going on in your life that you don't understand, is causing you difficulty, and it's a trial or it's a struggle. The wisest thing to do is to go and get counsel. The scriptures say that a wise man seeketh counsel. You understand? And with counsel, purposes are without counsel, purposes are disappointing. Meaning that whatever purpose you got, whatever goal you got, whatever the situation you're dealing with, if you go and just try to handle it on your own, it's most likely going to come to a bad end because you didn't go and get counsel first. Even the Lord, before he makes any move, he takes counsel. He has counsel, and that's all throughout the scriptures. So it's a wise thing to, before you you know, take steps to make a decision. You know, you ever heard the phrase, you measure 1,000 times and you cut once? That's verifying that the action, because you might have a thought or an idea about doing something, but you need to weigh that thought on the scale of judgment. And the only way for you to do that is to get somebody who's not personally involved in your situation to look at it with an outside perspective. You understand? And that's the purpose of counsel, is to get people who are not personally involved, because when you're personally involved in a situation, sometimes you can only see it in one way because you're in the box. You want somebody that's outside of the box to be able to tell you how to get out the box. Or I'm saying, or how to, deconstruct the box or tear the box down. So it's what Rebecca did, and Rebecca you're gonna come to see that Rebecca, and we saw that even when the servant went to go get her for as a wife for Isaac. She's a wise woman. Rebecca was a good sister. Rebecca feared the Most High and believed in the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And she stayed within the parameters of our culture. All right. So we'll read this again. This is 1 Samuel 9 and 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come, let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So this is just showing you that when it said that Rebecca went to go inquire, who she went to. She didn't pray in a desert, you know what I mean, by a hot rock, asking God to tell her something. You understand? She went and saw a man of God. And if you're not going to the men of the Lord, which are only in the ISUPK the command of Johanna, to hear what God, to see and hear what God is saying or what He wants, then you're not talking to the Lord. That's just the bottom line. All right. Now we're gonna go to Amos 3 and 7, and then we'll move on. Second, just to reinforce what we read in First Samuel 9:9. You can write these scriptures down. You know what I'm saying? That you're hearing. All right. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. All right. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. You know, secrets, right? There's some secrets that are evil. Someone tells you to keep a secret, or well, not that's the wrong way to say it. People that do evil and ask you to keep it a secret, that's a wicked thing. But there are some things that are secrets, like a secret in your life could be something like, well, whereas like you don't understand why, you're going through what you're going through. It's a secret to you, it's a mystery to you. But a lot of times, the Christian church teaches our people that if you're doing bad, that God is not with you. You know what I'm saying? When the scriptures say and so you'll be going through something terrible in life and you feel like the Lord ain't with you, and to you it's a mystery. You don't understand why your life is going the way it's going. You know what I'm saying? With whatever situation. But so it's a secret to you. But the Lord knows exactly why you're going through what you're going through. And it's because you're not serving the Most High. So he's putting you through a situation to make you kind of like, what they say, hit rock bottom. When you throw your hands up, what they say, Jesus, take the wheel or whatever, right? But really, the Lord wants to give you the wisdom for you to take the wheel and drive responsibly, or to get to your destination. But you don't understand why you keep, your tires keep popping, your car is on, engine is smoking, and you on the side of the road, and you don't understand why this happened to your vehicle. But you have to talk to an expert, you know what I'm saying, a roadside mechanic, and he can look at your engine, he can look at the state of your car and condition and know exactly what's going on. It's not a mystery to him. It's not a secret to him. He knows the cause of the problem. But a lot of times we're dealing with problems, and the only way that we deal with them is, instead of like getting counsel, we'll go and, go smoke weed. We'll go and there's nothing wrong with drinking. Smoking weed is a sin, but you'll go to that bottle and you'll overindulge in alcohol, become an alcoholic, or you feel like because you're feeling this pain and you don't know where the pain is coming from, you try to find something to medicate the pain or to numb the pain. You understand? When the pain in you, whether it be emotional, mental, physical, that pain is there to let you know that something is wrong. But you don't understand it. It's a secret to you. But God reveals the understanding to his prophets. You know what I'm saying? And the only prophets in the earth are in the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. That's just the fact. It's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? It's one body. It's not the Lord got prophets over here and you got prophets over there. No, when you read the scriptures, it was a school of prophets. I could get that too. You know what I'm saying? If need be or necessary. You understand? And show you that. That's also in Samuel. The prophets were together. You can read that also in the book of Ezra. All the prophets, you know what I'm saying? Obadiah, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah. You understand? All the prophets were together. They when it said that the Lord has separated 7,000 men that have not bowed their knee to Baal, right? And Obadiah, who was a prophet, when he saw the head of the school, which was Elijah, who was the head prophet, he was the primary prophet who the Lord was dealing with, like how the Lord is dealing with Commander General Yohana primarily. When I say primarily, I really mean to say the Lord is only dealing with Commander General Yohana directly. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and because he's the head of the school. You know what I'm saying? Christ is the head of the body, but Commander General Yohana is on earth, is over the body of Christ. You understand? So it wasn't like the Lord had scattered men all over the place. Like, oh, he heard something from God and he heard something from God, and they're writing this and it gets published, and then he writes it gets published, and it's these different separated, you know what I'm saying, things being said. No, just like how it was then is how it is now. All the prophets of God are within one school, within one body, and the Lord is not going to do anything unless He reveal it to His servants, the prophets. And you can't call yourself serving the Most High if you're not in the school of the prophets. I just want to make that clear as well. So, like I said, Rebecca was a wise sister. She was an excellent sister who, when she was dealing with a problem, dealing with a secret, something that she couldn't understand, you understand, she went and got the understanding from a man of the Lord. And that's what we all should do, is when we have an issue that we're dealing with or something that we don't understand, something that's a mystery to us that confuses us, the Lord has the priests and prophets and the men of the Lord in place to give you the understanding of what you're dealing with. All right. Let's get back to Genesis 25, verse 22. Now she goes to see the man of the Lord, and the man of the Lord lets her know what's going on. He about to tell her exactly what's going on, why she's having such a difficult pregnancy. Verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Okay? A lot of what people have a problem with living in this culture, in this society, is that they're conformed to this world. And when I say this world, I mean the world, that the society that we live in terms of who gives us culture, who gives us, education, who gives us the way that we should live our lives. Right now, it's only a certain set of people that actually run this world, this society. And the scriptures say that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. So when the rulership of the society is given to the wicked, then the thing that is crooked you call straight, and the thing that is straight you call crooked. In the scriptures it says woe. That word woe, that's an old Quaker English word that means destruction. But woe unto them that call good evil and evil good. That's the side. That's the society that we're living here in America. You know what I'm saying? In America, and the people who run America, you know what I'm saying, who we're about to find out about right here, their introduction into the earth. You know what I'm saying? As what we know them to be today. We're reading about it right now. You understand? And these people have created a society that make you look at what they tell us, how the world is supposed to go. It causes you to question the Most High, right? So a lot of times, you'll hear people say that, or not hear people say, you'll hear the prophets of God and the ISUPK say that you are who your father is. That's true. If your father is a Judite, then on your father's side, his father's a Judite, then you're a Judite. If your father was an Ephraimite and his father was Ephraimite, then you're an Ephraimite. You are what your father is. But right here in this situation, you have Isaac who got Rebekah pregnant. You know what I'm saying? You can't call him anything but the son of Abraham. He wasn't described as a nation himself, but he is the grandfather of a nation. You understand? He's the grandfather of a nation that's about to come into being. And the Lord said that 2 nations or 2 separate families are coming out of Rebekah's womb. You understand? Which means to say that is that it's not about what man say it is. A man right here, man says, you know what I'm saying, our oppressors say that it's a woman's body, it's her choice to whether she take the life that's inside of her womb or if she keep it. That is her decision. Now, everybody can make decisions, but the Lord said that thou shalt not murder. Or Salakia, thou, you know what I mean? You should not unalive. You understand? So our oppressor or the rulers of this wicked society say one thing, but the Lord says something else. The bottom line is that it doesn't matter what we feel like how things go here. It's the idea that that if you come if you got the same mama that y'all the same people, but the Lord is saying it's 2 different nations. So if the Lord said it's 2 different nations, then it's 2 different nations. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep reading. It says 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. He's saying it's 2 different ethnicities, 2 different races, and their manner or how like the way how they are is gonna be separated. Like they're not gonna, even though they're coming out of the same location, they're coming out of the same woman, they're gonna be 2 different races, 2 different people. The Lord said it. You understand? Y'all, a lot of times people want to go back and run to science and like, oh, well, that's impossible because this is how this works. Listen, there's been so much evidence out there of, you know what I'm saying? Because Isaac was a so-called black man. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't an Israelite, but he was a so-called man of color. He was a black man. His wife, Rebecca, was a so-called black woman. And you're going to see here that she gave birth to two different ethnicities. Why? Because the Lord said so. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep reading. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And this what the prophet told Rebecca is a prophecy that from the moment that he told Rebecca that up until now is what's happening. And it's going to happen because when the Lord says something, it's a done deal. You understand? The entire conflict between blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians and their oppressor it started in the womb. Really, it started back in Genesis way before this. But we're dealing with this particular point in the records. This is where it begins. This battle, this struggle. Okay. Verse 24. Actually, you know what? I want to get a scripture on that real fast. Okay, because this particular we're gonna go to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6. Okay, I want to show y'all something. All right. The a lot of people right now in 2024 is so many things happening. It's so much coming through the news, TikTok, Instagram. It's like every day 100 things that took place, right? And it's hard to keep up because it's an overload of information, and it's harder to discern and tell what's real and what's not. But the one thing that you can always count on if you're a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, even if you were a heathen, what God say is what's going to take place, and things are being measured by what occurred in this prophecy that the prophet told Rebecca. Um, all the events on the earth, the changing of who was in charge. You understand? Of who ruled the earth. All of this was based on what occurred right here in this prophecy. All right. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6. All right. This is the prophet Ezra talking to the angel. Okay. Um, and as Ezra is talking to the angel Uriel, and he's asking him about, from the beginning when the earth was made to where things are right now in the society, where are we at in time? You understand? He's asking about like the timeline, you know what I'm saying? Because everything has been measured out. All right. And this is what Uriel says. Notice what the angel says. He says, then answered the angel, what shall no, this is this is the prophet Ezra asking the angel. Then I answered and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it which follows? So meaning that the ruler when shall be the end of the rulership of the wicked, right? Because we've been under wicked rulership since, Adam got off his post, you know what I'm saying, back in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? We power has been handed to those that hate us. You understand? So the prophet is like, dang, how long are people going to go through this and deal with this? And this is what the angels say. All right. Because he's asking when is their kingdom going to come to an end and when is our kingdom going to begin? You know what I'm saying? The rulership of the righteous. Verse 8. And he said to me, from Abraham unto Isaac. See, he's when the angel is responding to Ezra, he's going back to what? Our records. He's not going you got like people talk about the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar and BC and AD and all this. Our oppressor tries to divide the times. He tries to change the times. You know what I'm saying? To where you can't even even with the daylight savings time, like adding an hour, taking away an hour, all this. They always try to manipulate us to where we don't know where we're at. it's a show I watch, and I was watching it like the other day. It's called Vikings, but you know what I'm saying, whatever. But at the time, this particular character in this show Vikings, he lived in like what you would call now, I don't know what you would call it, whatever. He lived where the Vikings lived at that time, the Norse people, right? And be, they had boats and stuff, but when they would go do their raids, they would only go to the east, like heading towards like Russia, uh, Kazakhstan, and those areas, like you know what I'm saying, like where like the Mongols and stuff was at. They go raid towards the east because why? They could just go over land. But this dude, his name was Ragnar Lothbrok. He wanted to go raid west, but they had to go out on the ocean to do that. So at the time they didn't have enough. They didn't have the technology to navigate uh, over the ocean at the time. So you know he had like a little. So what happened was he met somebody. He met a traveler and he gave him a sundial. And the sundial, when you're like at high noon, the shadow casted would let you know your position, and you know what I'm saying, and in terms of like south, north, east, or west, based on the shadow that would come down from the little pin in the sundial. So he's wanting to take a band of men and go over to the west, but because of the culture at the time, nobody had ever done it. Everybody was skeptical, didn't want to do it. And he also had like this little stone to where if it was cloudy, you could still locate where the sun was at. You understand? Because if you didn't have the sun to be able to cast it on that dial, you could lose your position. You understand? And why am I bringing this story up? Because our oppressor has tried to change the laws and change the times, and by giving us miseducation, we don't know who we are. We don't have our identity. We don't have our culture, and because of that, we don't know where we're at in this time. You understand? But when the angel is talking to the prophet Ezra, he's letting him know how you're supposed to understand the time and where you're at. It's based off of our records. You don't go to your oppressor to try to understand what's important or what time we're in or what's going down. You have to go to our records, and the only way for you to understand our records is by going to the prophets of God, the men of the Lord. You understand? You will, if you don't have that compass, you'll lose your position. You'll lose you'll lose where you're at. The Lord gave us the curses in Deuteronomy 28 for us to be able to identify about why we're going through what we're going through in this hell, in this society, in this oppression that we live under. You just think, man, why am I cursed? Well, there's an answer. You understand? You can understand where you're at in your life by going back to your records. You're not gonna. People think the compass is our oppressor's education, right? To get a job. Oh, now I'm making moves. I'm moving in the right direction. No, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man or woman. If you're not going back to your records to understand the culture that the Most High gave you, you don't know where you're at. You're lost. And this is why Christ said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because sheep, if they don't have a shepherd, they'll just scatter and go wherever it is to try to go find food. And that's what's going on in this society right now. We're not gathering ourselves together. We're being individualistic, trying to pursue what's it called? In the pursuit of what? I forget whatever they put in one of them what is it? One of them, the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. Every man has the right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. That's not how we're supposed to operate as a people. To go pursue life, liberty, you know what I'm saying, or the freedom to do whatever you want to do, and then happiness. The Lord didn't tell us to seek that. He told us to seek the kingdom of God, right? That's the kingdom of power. Because as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, if you don't have your records, if you don't have your culture, you don't have no power. And you don't have no power. Why don't you have power? Because you don't have your power's protection. You understand? All right. Let's keep reading. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, and when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held the first of the heel of Esau. We're going to read that. But the whole point is that he's breaking down the timeline, the history of the world based on our records, our the what do you call it, the lineage of our people. You understand? If you want to know what time it is and where you're at, go to your records. Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. All right, let's keep reading. Verse 24. And when her days were to be delivered and fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Okay, and the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. This is the 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 beginning of the introduction of the people, a particular people that are, even though they're coming from the same woman, the same mother, they're not the same as the people, as the woman that bare him is, he's separated from her, and he's separated from the child that she bore. You understand? So she basically had a child that was not of her, or of her husband, or of the son that she had. It was a separate people. Okay. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, or Yaquab in the Hebrew. Okay. And Isaac was 60 years old, or 60 old, when she bare them. A score is 20. All right. So when you see score, just put in your mind 20. So 60 is 3 times 20. That's 60 years old. Isaac was 60 when so it was 20 years after they got married. He was 60 when she had her twins, when she had Esau and Jacob. Okay. And we won't go back to second Esdras. It says that, I'm gonna read verse 8 again. It says, and this is second Esdras chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, breaking down the times of when, this society was in power, to when the society that's going to be governed and ruled over by Christ under the Most High is going to be set up. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world. Verse 9. It's the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. So the whole pregnancy, right, it was spiritual. It was a physical thing that occurred, but it was showing a type or a similitude of what's going to occur in terms of the transition of power, where Esau came out first. When I was born, every show that I watched that had heroes, Tarzan, Superman, Batman, the people that showed men in power, they were always of that nationality. So, and then they would always show movies where it was the oppressor discovering new things, or making inventions, right? As a child, if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you grow up in that from watching on TV. It seems like they were here, they built the world, and they're first, and we're not, and we should follow them. Whoever's in front is who you can't help but follow if they're in front, right? They're the leaders of the world, new world. They were the leaders of the world, of the new world. That's how they put it out to us. We built this. We sent this rocket to the moon. We put men on the moon. We built the nuclear bomb. If you a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian living in the ghetto, like a nuclear bomb, where do they get the science? Right? And we don't really pursue science. The sciences like that. They call it STEM. Science, I forget what the acronym is for, but we don't really pursue the sciences like that. We have people that are very intelligent and are scientists in our community, but it's not really it's not encouraged, or it's like we want to go to sports, or we want to go into like entertainment. We don't really pursue the sciences, but we have people that do. I know Captain Nyathok and over you know what I'm saying, North Carolina. I'm sure there's other zones. I'm not really familiar with all the zones he's over, but if I'm not mistaken, he has a doctorate, a PhD, or I believe. You understand? You have Officer Abon, who was over ISUPK Alaska, Canada, Brazil. He's an international, well-read priest, but he can speak Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he studies mechanical science, if I'm not mistaken. That's what his degree is in, if I'm not mistaken. Our people have people of that level of IQ and intelligence. You understand? But coming into this world, they give the illusion or the appearance of that we're like the the dumb people, and they're the intelligent, smart people. But over a period of time, you begin to understand is that they were so smart. Why are the oceans being destroyed? Why are there so many tons of fish coming in? They're coming in with the waves to the beach, and this beach is filled with fish, right? They're out there with their oil rigs drilling for oil and dumping all types of chemicals into the ocean. And why, if they're so wise, why do we have to buy filters for our water if they're so wise? If they were really a wise people, they wouldn't build a filter. They would leave the waters alone. Because why? The Lord already created creatures to actually clean the ocean and clean the waters. They're called crabs, shrimps, lobsters. The thing that you feel is a delicacy, and you want to go to the restaurant, and if the guy that you're forever dating, or whoever, all your forever dates, doesn't get you the lobster plate or the king crab plate, then you feel like he's not a man or whatever. But those creatures that you feel like are a delicacy, that make you feel like you take photos on Instagram, like, oh, I'm living it up, I'm getting to the bag. That's what the Lord created. He created that to clean the oceans, so we wouldn't need to have to build a physical filter. Everything that the oppressor makes invention wise is based off of them going against God's laws. They're trying to, like, the whole science of knowing how to go into a woman's womb and unalive a child, right? You're doing all this, and the Lord didn't need that. The Lord didn't need someone to invent a science of how to unalive babies. That's there, or a Plan B pill. Those inventions are there because they're trying to give you a way to live outside. If you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, to a way to live outside of what God said. They're not smart. It's wickedness. It's evil. You should never call the wisdom of the wicked a good thing. It's an evil thing. Like how I put this. Like, there is a knowledge in wickedness. There's ways that these top firms like Vanguard and BlackRock, while they're able to be, like, they have a net worth as a investment body or firm it's like they're 3 times more wealthier than, like, Russia, America, like all the top countries, and they're a corporation. Why? Because they have a knowledge. But that knowledge that they have is not benefiting the earth. It's not benefiting the people who live on earth, and it's especially not benefiting Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? So the knowledge that will help our people is the knowledge of God. But we're destroyed because we lack that knowledge. You understand? So the world that we live in, they gave us the appearance that they were first. Because why? They did come out first. But at the end of their world is the beginning of the rulership of Jacob, Yahweh. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, under Christ, who's going to put this earth in order. It says that after he goes to war with all these nations and take them out of their power and take their crowns and take their authority, right? That he's going to do it as a man of war. You understand? And execute judgment. But once that's done, he's gonna have them turn their weapons into farming machines, and the earth is not going to learn war anymore. Why? War is in place to shift to shift the transition of power. Power isn't how I put it. Power is transferred. It's not shared. You understand? You can't like this whole idea of democracy and equality. Like, this is why Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian homes there's war, because they feel like that there is a equality there, when really there's a rank in the structure there. Because you only have war when somebody's outside of order. Like, I'm gonna say this: a parent having an argument with a child, a parent is not, when you see a child arguing with their parent, that's not it's not the parent arguing, it's the child, because they're contending against the authority of the parent. The ruler or the authority can't argue with somebody that's under their authority. Only a person that's under authority can argue with them. It go up, because a ruler dictates how the order of things and how it's going to go. So I'm saying that to say that when you hear about war, it's because that's in this world, this society, that's the only way power can be transferred, is through war. It has to be taken. But in Christ's kingdom, they're not going to learn. The people are not going to learn war anymore because there's not going to be no. Uh, there's not going to be a. You're not going to vote Christ out of his seat. You're not going to be able to raise up an army to come and take Christ out of his seat. When Christ establishes his throne and sits on his throne in his kingdom, that's it. So there's no reason for anybody to learn war no more because why? Everything is in order, and the authority on the earth that was supposed to be ruling over the earth will be ruling the earth, and there's not going to be no need for learning how to fight anymore. What are you fighting for? Right now, we have to fight because the people who are in power are against our power. So we have to learn war now. You understand? But for a period of time, I mean, when Christ comes back, it's going to be over with. You understand? What you see going on in Israel right now between the Israelis, the imposters, and Palestine, or what's going on with Ukraine and Russia? It's why it's overpowered. It's overpowered. But we have one power. This is why the prayer, I can't say it in the Hebrew. I need to get to study that. But it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one." The Lord, your power is one. But the reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, why we're scattered, is because we see the power of these other nations, and we think by befriending them, making league with them, making agreements with them, you know what I'm saying, that's going to give us power. By imitating their culture and how they do things, that we're going to achieve power like that. You will not achieve power like that, because all those powers are going to fall. That's why the scriptures say that the powers were shaken in heaven. It's not talking about the constellations and all that. It's talking about the people who are in rulership, that they're going to be shaken and removed from their seat, and it's going to be replaced with Christ and the 144,000, 12,000 from each, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right, Salakia. I mean, let me see there. I just read Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. I'm gonna read it again. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. Because we've been following Esau, but we had a grip on his heel. You understand? Because what does that grip mean? Well, hold on to the heel, right? Like, what's the weak point of Esau? The weak point is that the Lord didn't choose him, and the Lord hates him, but he loves us. So even though he came out first, we got a grip on his heel. It's one thing that we can hold on to and know is that the Lord loves Jacob, and he hates Esau, and he hates not just that man, because people say, oh, he only hated Esau because Esau did evil things, or Esau, you know what I'm saying, he only hated him. He don't hate who came from him, because our people have a love for their oppressor. They try to find ways to save him from the judgment that's coming, but you can't. Because the Lord said it. Just like how the Lord said there's two natures in their womb. It don't matter that they came out the same way. You want to say, you got these Christian Israelites want to say that Esau is the Arab or Esau is a black man because if Rebecca was black and Isaac was black, then he had to be black. No. It said he came out red. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even calling that albino. He came out red. He came out as a Caucasian. You understand? All right, we had and the bottom line is, it's about who the Lord chooses. It's not about who's related to who. It's about who the Lord chose, because Abraham had a whole bunch of sons. We saw that, but he didn't call them sons. He said to when he spoke to Abraham about when he tested Abraham concerning Isaac, he said, take thee now thy only son. The Lord didn't even recognize nobody else as Abraham's son but Isaac. Why? Because he chose Isaac, and he chose who came from Isaac, which is Jacob. It's about who the Lord chose. It's not about your opinion and how you think this thing should go. It's about who the Lord chose. Okay, let's keep going. I think we're at verse 26 or verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. You see that? You see our people, our oppressors. They be in the forest with all that forest camel on, hiding. You know what I'm saying? They always thinking about new ways to hunt and kill. That's why you got the drone technology, the missiles, the heat-seeking missiles, the nuclear warhead missiles that can fly, you know what I'm saying, on auto. You know what I'm saying? They got planes that fly without pilots. They're always trying to find, our person's always trying to find new ways to hunt and kill. They got little mosquitoes that are like little robots to spy and to hunt. You know what I'm saying? They want to tap your phones and you know what I'm saying? You know, now everybody on social media just tell everything about themselves. So ain't like, oh man, the FBI, CIA is watching us. I mean, okay, yeah, you making sure everybody watch you. Everybody, everything you do is online, right? But he's a hunter. He's a cunning hunter, and he finds ways to do things. You know what I mean? Like now they got cloaking technology, cloaking devices, where soldiers can cloak themselves. They'll be standing right next to you. You know what I'm saying? You have a gun in your head. You couldn't even see him. You couldn't even hear him because they use the light spectrum, the wavelengths from the light to bend light to where you can't see them. He's a cunning hunter. It's when the prophet is telling Rebecca about their two manner of people, he's talking about the spirit that they're going to move in, operate in. You understand? All right, let's keep going. And Jacob, Yaquab, was a plain man, meaning he was like relaxed, he was chill, he was cool, dwelling in tents. This is why you see a lot of black folks, man, like they just be at the house chilling. Like, you know, like we work, we know how to get things done, but we just like to chill. We, you know, it's like, you know, yeah, we like chicken. Yeah, we like eating a good steak or barbecuing and all that. But we not out there trying to get rifles and go kill like at that level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. Like Jacob, like Abel was over the sheep. You know, we have some sheep here, some goats, some cattle. We're gonna let them, you know, do what they do. We're gonna increase the flock, and then you know we'll take that little sheep out. You know what I mean? You know, dress them up, put them on the grill, eat it. It wasn't about no hunt for us. Now there's gonna be a time, you know, like you know, we might go fishing. Even that, like when we fish, is chill. We set the poles up. You know what I mean? You know, put the cast it out, set the pole up, have it be out in the lake, and we wait for the fish to come take a bite, and then we pull it up, fry it up, and eat it. We're not out here trying to like hunt elk and moose and all that. That's like I remember I was watching an episode with Joe Rogan. He was talking about how there's this dude that he knew. They would just run through the forest. They wanted to run and just with bows and just go hunt. And they felt like, oh yeah, we're my man. That's Esau's spirit. Our spirit is to chill and relax. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be out there just and it's deep because the oppressor tried to give you his spirit. That's why Christ said, you have your father the devil, and his lust you will fulfill. So now it's like, what do we say? I got to get out there and get it. It's like he's made you into a hunter. And because you're hunting the wrong things, you're hunting after his lust, now you hunt your own people. Out here hunting your own people, sliding and spinning and stepping and all this other stuff because his spirit is in you. That's why the Lord said, if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. What is he talking about? The spirit, the vibe, it's not in you. Because for you know, anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? As long as because why? You want to get it. You need to get it. We're going to see that right here, man. You're going to see that spirit on Esau, man. Like he's, not only is he out here, desperate and hunting for things, but a lot of things, man, you know, it's like in the book of James, it says you lust and you kill and you don't obtain. You know what I'm saying? You're doing all this evil and wickedness in the spirit of your father, the oppressor, and you're not even getting the thing that you're trying to get. But all the way you're harming your own people. That's not what Christ died for. That's not what the Most High made us to be. He made us a peculiar people. Um, what is it? A nation of priests, of kings and priests, a royal priesthood. You know what I'm saying? He made us different, separate. We're not supposed to operate like them. All right, let's keep reading. Salakia. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, right? So Isaac, you know, he is his firstborn son. He looks at Esau like, man, he be out here getting to the, you know, he be taking down these large animals and then he come cook it up for me. So and also said that Isaac was going blind, so he couldn't really see. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the Lord gave it to, the Lord through the prophet gave it to Rebecca because Rebecca wasn't looking at what Esau could do physically. She's not looking at that. She's looking at Jacob because Esau was also out there having interracial relationships. He was marrying Hittite women and Canaanite women. You know what I'm saying? And women of Egypt and all that. He was having children with them. He was going against the culture. So Rebecca was like, nah, but Jacob wasn't on that type of time. Jacob was chilling and he was wise. Yaquab means like it's like savvy, or I don't want to say slick, but you know how to accomplish a goal in a way that people wouldn't expect for you to accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? Yaquab. To be Yaquab is to be wise as a serpent, but he was harmless as a dove. He wasn't causing no damage, but he used it. He used his mind, like Solomon, used wisdom to do things instead of, like, the sweat of the brow. The Lord never intended for us to be out there sweating and slaving. He wanted us to use wisdom, and the wisdom is in our records. It's our wisdom before the nations. All right. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. She loved Jacob because she knew the Lord chose Jacob. So Rebekah was on the same vibe that the Lord was on. Let's keep reading. Verse 29. And Jacob boiled pottage, and Esau came from the field and he was faint. Why Jacob ain't worried about, when you chilling and you have what you need, you're content, everything is there for you. It's like right there. It's added unto you. But when you out there chasing and pursuing, you're not going to obtain. And then because you're in that state, you're not content, you're discontent. You can't even understand what's valuable and what's precious. You understand? You'll just, you'll do anything, you'll eat anything. It's like you don't have no, you're not able to separate anything. You dig what I'm saying? This is the spirit of our oppressor. He's not satisfied. That's why we're living in hell. You understand? And Jacob boiled pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Let me tell you something. Our oppressor always want to call us lazy, and we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. How can our people be lazy when our people were the slaves? We built the nation. You understand? And he's out there trying to chase something. You know what the oppressor always does? When they're low on resources, when all their imaginations and their evil ideas, whenever they go, they like it's blowback or it blows back on them. They come to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and they lean on us during the pandemic, right? Because the Moab don't know how to. He don't know what food is. Now we got a virus spreading throughout the earth, and because our oppressor don't know how to make wise decisions, you know what I'm saying? Who did they have to lean on? The essential workers to keep the society going. And who was that? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. When they fail, they always come to us to rebuild what they destroyed, or to rebuild what they destroyed, and what was built by us. But the kingdom that Christ is going to build, it's going to never be destroyed. It's going to last forever. All right. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red stew." Y'all seen them TikTok and videos and them Facebook videos. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to season. You know why? Yeah, he would go hunt the meat and make, grill it or whatever. But the reason why that he wanted that pottage is because Jacob knew how to season. He had seasoning. He was a seasoned man. Jacob was a seasoned man, and he knew how to season. So, man, you out there chasing that all that red meat, but then you come back and we over here just, you know what I'm saying, beans and rice. You know what I'm saying, lentil soup, and just it's probably just coming out the pot. It's all in the air. When you go to a black and Hispanic Native Indian neighborhood, it's all type of smells of good food in the air. It's just, you like, oh man, I know that's someone making some good tacos right now, some good burrito right now. And someone over there frying some good chicken. You can smell it. You know what I'm saying? I watched a episode, it wasn't an episode, it was like a little reel where it was some like reporters, and they had like a black chef on there. And it's like, this is macaroni and cheese and this is greens, and the white reporter's eating the food. He's like, oh my god, he's tripping out. You know what I'm saying? When that's regular business for us, eating good food, seasoning our food. You know what I mean? That's why they're they're desperate, and they have to rely on us. You know what I'm saying? What was that Captain Mashaka did a class on this Paula Dean. Paula Dean was, for a time before she got caught up in that whole racial controversy. Paula Dean was like known for like Southern cooking. Who you think was teaching Paula Dean those recipes? Who was? I bet you, they say Betsy Ross sold the American flag. I bet you was a black woman designing that and doing that for her old behind. You know what I'm saying? I'll say her old ass. You know what I'm saying? I bet you was a black woman doing that, stitching all that flag up. They always got to have us buy them. You go into a Moab restaurant, you might see Issachar in the kitchen. That's how you know it's going to be good. Issachar up in there. You know what I'm saying? They have to, like, I was watching, it was like some type of cooking battle, and they had a Korean woman on there, and she was bragging on how good Korean fried chicken is. How it's the best, and it can rival any chicken in the world. And then, you know, the oppressors on there listening to her, he got this look on his face, and he's like, "Do you know why?" And she was like, no. He was like, because in World War or the Korean War, black GIs went over to Korea and they gave y'all the recipe on how to make that good Korean chicken. He's like, you got it from black people. And he just cut her and shut her up. They always got to come to us. That's the point of what I'm saying. Because they ain't got no salt. All right. Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom. So he was called Esau, but he was called Edom because he was so desperate to eat that food. You know what I'm saying? That red pottage, and he's red. Now I'm gonna go to one last scripture. This is gonna be in the book of Malachi, and then we're gonna close out. All right, Salakia. If y'all got any questions, y'all can put them in the chat. If y'all have any questions, Salakia. Let me go to this the book of Malachi. Malachi is right before Matthew. Will show you, because people want to say that, oh, the Lord. Actually, I'm going to read one scripture out of the book of Romans as well, Romans 9. But we're going to read the book of Malachi to let you know, because you have some Christian Israelites out there that say, um, you know, the Lord only hated that particular man. He only hated Esau. He don't hate the whole nation. I'm going to read this to you. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. So the Lord's talking to somebody. He's telling somebody that he loves them. Christians want to say that God loves everybody. But we got to go to the scriptures, to our records, to see what God, what love is to God and who God loves. Okay. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? This is the Lord talking to the nation of Israel. He's like, I've loved you. But y'all say, where, how you love us? I'm sure there's a lot of y'all out there that feel like that. Your mama was on drugs. You got molested by your uncle. You know what I'm saying? Your cousins got shot up. You know what I'm saying? In a drive-by. Your father's doing a 20-year, 25-year bid. You know what I'm saying? In prison. You know, your whole family is just, you know, everything's upside down. And you like, this ain't the Cosby Show. This ain't the Cosby's. You know what I mean? I'm not living that life. Like how the Lord say He love us. This is what your Christian pastor tell you. He make you feel like because you're going through some bad stuff that the Lord don't love you. But right here we're saying he's like I have loved you. And to say He has loved you, He's saying I don't just love you right now. I've always loved you, and I've always gave you love. You know what I'm saying? But it's like kids with their parents. The parents, you know, I remember my mama used to say it. She's like, I'm only doing this when she used to tear my behind up before she'd do it, or afterwards. She'd say, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. I never believed it when she said it, but I can understand it now. And I can also understand how the Lord feel about having to put us through some stuff. But he's a terrible power. You know what I mean? But the love the Lord gives is like that love your parents gave you when you stayed out past curfew when the street lights was on, and you came in that house feeling like having a good time. And then you encounter your father, your mother, and it's like, what I tell you about coming in after the street lights? Didn't I tell you to have your ass up in here before the street lights come on, right? And then it's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. Good night. And then after that, I only did this because I love you. But they didn't whip you from, you know what I'm saying, from Sunday from Sunday to the kingdom. They didn't tore your behind up, and I did it because I love you. The Lord has loved us. Everything that our people are going through is love. You understand? To give us the thing that He wants us to have the most, which is power. I mean, but power is a funny thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to get low to pick it up. Right? When I say low, I ain't talking about low in character. I'm talking about you got to humble yourself. All right. Okay. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob. Dang. Dang. God loves everybody. And this sister had twins, and the Lord only loved one of them. That's hard for a mother to hear. I love all my children. I love all my children the same. Are we all children of God? God made all of us, right? Okay. He said, was not Esau Jacob's brother? It's the Lord asking that. But I loved Jacob. I love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Man, this is heavy. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains. What does that mean, his mountains? The mountains represent governments, powers, and his heritage, right? His estate, what he had. He said, I laid it waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Okay? Whereas Edom have said, now what's Edom? Edom is what we just read that. What after he took that pottage, his name was called Edom at that point. Okay? That doesn't just represent Esau, represents everybody that descended from him, all of his people as a nation. Okay? Whereas Edom have said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. You know how they said, let's make America great again? That's basically how you could take that. We're going to make what got destroyed, we're going to make it, we're going to build it 10 times stronger. Right? He said, the Lord said, but they shall build, but I will throw down. Like basically what he's saying is I'm against them. I'm against this nation of Edom. And Edom is who you currently call today the so-called Caucasians. Across all boards. I mean, whether it's the Amalekites running through the sewers like rats, or it's Putin, you know, a head of power. I mean, a head in authority and a power in Russia. Or so like you have Zelensky and Putin battling, but the Lord hate both of them. So you shouldn't even be trying to pick a side. Oh man, you know, Putin is evil. Oh, Zelensky's brave. No, we don't care about Ukraine or Russia. The Lord is against both of them. Okay, let's keep reading. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against, not the person. Let's read that again. The people against, not one man. The people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. I could look up indignation on here, you know what I'm saying, and try to break that down. But indignation is like it's deep, it's deep anger. It's like, you know, and to me, indignation is like it's like a boiling, like think about a volcano before it explodes. Like what's going on inside of the volcano, all that pressure, and it's just ready to explode and black. That's how the Lord feel about how the wrath He has against those people. Against that nation. He has indignation. You know what I'm saying? You know, against them. All right. Let me go over to Romans 9 and we're gonna close out. All right. Just to show you about, you know, everything is based off of this prophecy right here. All right, let's go to Romans chapter 9. For y'all who say that, you know, the Lord don't hate, He hates for people's behavior, not for who they were. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna break this out right now, okay? Let's go down to, we'll start at verse 7. Okay? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. This is what Paul is reiterating what we've already read in Genesis, in 2nd Esdras, and in the book of Malachi. The records written according to Malachi, okay? Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So the Lord only recognizes one people on the earth as His people, chosen. And those are the people that come from Isaac and Abraham, okay? Because Abraham had other kids. So let's keep going. This is Paul getting into this matter. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, they are not the children of God. So for y'all out there, I'm sorry to crush, you know what I'm saying, your Christmas, crush your birthday, and crush the idea that you have in your head from your Christian pastor, who is a liar and an angel of Satan. I'm sorry to let you know that we're not all children of God, according to the Lord. Let's keep reading. But the children of the promise are counted for seed, or counted for the seed, the children. The children of the promise. Who had the promise? Isaac, Jacob, and all the children that came out of Jacob, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right? For this is the word of promise. At this time I will come, and Sarah shall have a son. So Abraham had a son with Hagar, what you call now the Ishmael, or who was the father of what you modernly would call the Arabs, right? But the Lord didn't recognize him. He said, Sarah's going to have a son. That's my promise. Because whatever the Lord promised, You know, you ever heard of a promissory note? Like he gonna pay on that. Okay. And not only this, he's saying this, that's not the only example of me choosing one child over another child because I've loved one and don't care about the other one. He said, not only this, he's given another example of it. But when Rebekah, what we just read about, also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. See how Paul calls Isaac his father? That's the lineage that he descends from. All right. For the children being not yet born. She didn't have them yet. She went to the prophet to go ask the prophet about why her pregnancy was so difficult while she was pregnant. The children hadn't done nothing yet. They were in her womb. Not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election. What's election? We coming into the election cycle right now. You have some courts out there trying to say that Trump can't be on the ballot because, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know, saying that the accusation was that he incited the riots at the Capitol building when all those oppressors went up there and raided the Capitol building. Trump did incite that. He definitely incited that. You know what I'm saying? And the people that attacked that went to destroy that building were criminals, right? You know, people want to call, you know, demean black people. Why on a riot they taking TVs and taking clothes? Because they've been oppressed that whole damn time. They feel like this is a window for me to go ahead and get what I need or even what I want. But your oppressor, he riots and he go and try to destroy the Capitol building, an institution that was set up by the government, and they say that's that they're freedom fighters. They're fighting for freedom. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what you wanted to have, better things in life. That's not you fighting for freedom. That's just you being a thug and a criminal. It's just because of the society that you live in, how they give us what they give us as an image or a thing to believe. But the one thing you can take comfort in, if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian, is that the Lord loves you. And if the Lord loves you, then who can be against you? People can be against you, but these other nations, but what's it matter if you got the Lord's protection? All right, that's what we're trying to teach you on the ISUPK on the Command Journey Yohana is come to the men of God, come to the prophets of God, and learn how to be protected, how to get the protection of the Lord. All right, not according to election. So I can read again that the purpose of God according to election might stand. What God say is what stand is what it's going to be. We talking out here about standing on business. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, nigga, you ain't standing on business. The Lord is standing on business, and that's why when the parents came to Christ as a kid, they was like, "Where was you at? We was looking for you." He was like, "Didn't you know I'll be about my Father's business?" Christ stood on business. And ISUPK Commander Yohana, he's standing on business, and he teaches the men under him to stand on business, the business of the Lord. You understand? That might stand, not of works, not of it's some good white folks out there. They are good. There's a whole lot of good white people out there. They kiss our boots at camp every day. Every weekend they can. They empty out their pockets and bank accounts and give to the work of the Lord under Commander Yohana. They're excellent white people out there. We see them all the time. They're truly sorrowful for what their people have done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You understand? But it's not about those works. It don't change their judgment. But it's of him. But it's of him that calleth. So the Lord chose Jacob. So it don't matter what Esau, whether he did good, whether he did evil. It wouldn't matter. Esau could have loved Jacob, and Jacob could have went to him and been like, "Hey, Mama said that the Lord chose me." Esau could be like, "Oh, that's perfect, man. Whatever the Lord wants." It don't change. He's a good dude. It don't change that the fact that the Lord don't love him. Whether or not Eric Garner got choked out or the brother who got the knee on his neck, it don't matter. Whether if they had just went and said, "Hey, man, you look like you're intoxicated. We need to go ahead and take you to the hospital and get you enrolled in a drug program." The Lord still hate him. If they was doing all the good, the Lord didn't choose them. It's about what the Lord said and who He chose. It ain't about what people do, and that's a lot of the mistake that we make. We're a sheep. The Bible refers to us as sheep because we easily follow things, and a lot of times people come up to you and they got gifts in their hands. That's why the Bible says a gift in the hand is against judgment, because someone come and do something for you and you feel like now you're obligated and now this is a good person. You hear it all the time. Black folks say, well, I don't hate white folks. You know what I'm saying? A white man got me my job. A white man helped me get into this trade school. Or a white man helped me out when I was down. A white woman, you know what I mean? She didn't give me no attitude like how the black women do. It has nothing to do with it. You're looking according to the flesh. It's about what God said. You know, and no matter how much good that they do, the Lord don't love them. He hate them. And you're never going to change that because he want his business to stand. He want his purposes and his election to stand. There's no electoral college that's going to change what the Lord who the Lord elected as the ruler of this earth, which is Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, Hamashiach, you know what I'm saying, our King, Christ. Let me finish this and we're gonna get up out of here. Verse 12, and it was said unto her, unto who? Rebecca, who went to the prophet, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written. Where was it written at? In Malachi. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right, and I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to get a little deeper, but I don't want to get into all that. We're stopping at I think that's Genesis 25 and 30, and we'll pick up again with it next week. So with that, we're gonna close out on Mijam, which means to stand. La Yashala. And this means to Israel. All right. Let's see here. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yah Shah Brakiyah. And do these prayers. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malawaka, Taba'a, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kowa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'a, Taba'a Yanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hiwashai Nawa, Mayan, Ra'a, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Waha Thapara, La'ai Walamium, Aman, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever, so be it. This is the prayer of the power of the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Baba Koshah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha Matazarium, Hakak, Lahaikuyum, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rakawath, Ha Tamala, Lagarshin, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water Amun. The prayer of the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. It's the prayer of the blessing in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Quatasayanyam, Ha Kaya Yalam, Wa Akwathian, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Ashai Ayanya, Al Hahariam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a Azaria, Azaria Ma'am, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa Arataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wayarak, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar Ra'ah, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'atha, Wa'ad, Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damaya Lakad, Al-Thakarash, Wa Al-Thashakwat, Al, Kaya Hana, Awayabaka, Yamaha, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Ya'ira Yamawa Sawada, Wayatha Ya'ir Tazawa, Al-Tazapa Wayaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakidum, Magawa, Wala Yazakar, Salakia, Wala Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Atazawa, Laba, Yakaiwa, Alyaka, Barya, Yakarthwa, Alya, Adawam, Wa Yashama Alyam, Wa Yashama Alayam, Mawaiba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalak, Palasha, An Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamajin, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabian, Banakar, Kwashawan, Nasham Wadawa, Ba'ayan Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayathamwa, Nadab, Yab Mawa, Ka'arab, Wa Kazabah, Wa Kazabak, Wa Ka Tazal Manai, Kal Nasai Yakamwa, Ashar Amarwa, Nayar Risha, Lanawa, Af Nawaf, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalia, Kakwash, La Panya, Ravaka, Ka'ash Taba Arya Ira, Wa Kalaba, Talahat Harayam, Kan Tharadatma, Basa Irika, Wabasa Wapathka, Taba Halam, Malah, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Balawa, Aya Id, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dawa'a, Kaya Atha Shamka Yahweh Labaka Al Yawan Al Kaharatazar. In the English, keep not thy silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, The Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the power in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm, and fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
All right. Star, you turn, face the podium. Salakia. Give a courtesy salute to the men. Men of Israel, I Majim Shabbat. I Majim. Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Yazamatal, Sar, turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, I Majim Shabbat. I Majim. Barak. Yahweh Shemar Atham Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yazamatal, class dismissed. See y'all next week, Israel.